And now, here's the man who lives in a van down by the river, Wade.
It's actually kind of comfy.
I was going to put it in Moorhead, though, River.
Well, hello and welcome to Uptown Tonight. It is April 27th of 2022. It's a beautiful day out there, almost 50 degrees. Maybe it's 50 degrees now. My dog is standing in about 4 inches of pure mud, and he's long-haired too, so it's been exciting this past week, trying to keep the house clean and the dog clean at the same time. And he had a vet visit during all this as well. It's been a pain in the butt to have a puppy, but I don't know. He's my little Zebras, and he's always going to be there. So, well, welcome to Uptown Tonight. Today we have Zander Ness with us, with Ari, and we have Cito over here. For Carter, I know we had Carter advertised earlier this week. He actually came down with something. He can barely speak, and he's going to be on next week. So thank Zander here for being flexible and being able to do it this week, because he was supposed to be next week. So it's going to be a good time. I know Zander's got a lot of stuff that he has gone through, talked about, done, and everything else. I mean, this guy is the epitome of, if you want to go into writing and doing your own thing, basically, if you're going into the original type genre of music, I'm sure you've done it all, if not most of it, and I'm sure you have a lot of things to help us out with, too. You can maybe give a few pointers out to the people that are out there. But, let's see, let's talk about last weekend real quick. Last weekend, we were out. Oh, I keep forgetting about that, so I have that up right away. Well, we got to keep pushing out WeFest. We are playing WeFest Wednesday, August 3rd, out on the barn stage. So if you're out and seeing it or being out at WeFest, go ahead and check us out there. And last weekend we were at JC Chumley's. Check it out. I had to go get a video of that real quick. I just thought that was kind of fun.
Was that our song there? Oh, it's the actual song. Okay.
Yep.
I was like, I sound good.
It's TikTok-y type thing, so they'll probably get us a copyright strike right there. But that's okay. And then I finally...
Is that our new drummer?
He possibly could be.
Auditions.
This is Elias Youngblom. He was on that podcast last summer. He's been basically handicapped by being blind. Excellent musician. The guy is a trumpet player by choice, but he's actually teaching the NDSU drum line. That's how good this guy is, so that's what he's doing out there. And I knew he needed a drum set. He didn't have one, and I was like, I got this electric kit that has no place to be here. It's just taking up space. And we finally, after about 6 months, got it to him, and that was him playing on it. So, yep. So thank you, E, for taking that off my hands, and I hope you get a lot of use out of that. We got to get you out there playing again. All right, so let's see here. We got Zander. How you doing, man?
Doing good.
Thank you for being.
Me.
Yeah, thank you for being on. You have that great radio voice too. I keep forgetting. I think, when did I meet you the first time? You were young, right?
Yeah, you might not remember. It was the drum line.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. I remember your mother talking to me about that.
So I was, that was probably 2000.
What? Well, it had to be before that. Maybe it was 2000.
I think it was 2000.
Yeah,
and I was around
22 years ago.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. And you were rocking it back then, too. You had some talent. We could all see it.
Thanks, man.
We definitely could see it at that point. So, yeah, I remember you from all that.
Yeah.
So, from there, how have you been?
Good. That was before I had been in a band yet.
Yep.
But about a year later, I was in the first band I was in, and first concert.
A year later.
Yeah. First concert was 2001 at All-Star Bowl.
All-Star Bowl. Oh, my God. I almost forgot about that place, and it's only been gone for like a year now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went out on there the last night they were open.
Oh, were you?
Tore it up. But...
Beautiful. I know a lot of us cut our teeth out there on that place.
Yep.
That was really good. So what got you into music in the first place? Because I know when I met you, you were like, you're deep into it already. I mean, you understood a lot.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I was given a box of CDs from one of my mom's friends when I was around like 9 or 10, and this was like grunge, Soundgarden, Nirvana.
Oh, of course.
So I don't know. I sifted through. That's kind of when kids become interested in music, as far as I think, like appreciating music. So I picked Nirvana in Utero because that was the craziest looking CD in the box or whatever. And but yeah, as far as playing music, I'm not entirely sure. I just got interested in drums.
Well, yeah.
Right away, and then-
That's how I met you. But basically, how'd you get into drums in the first place? And if you're listening to these CDs, and then would your mom just show up one day with a drum
No, I asked for a drum set for my 10th birthday.
for your 10th birthday, and she went
And
for it?
She came through
Oh, wow.
and
Oh, wow.
drove her and my grandpa nuts with it. So for a couple of years till I kind of learned a little more. But
Well, still, you got the drum set. What kind of place were you at the time?
we were living with my grandpa at his house. So
Okay,
I had
so-
a basement.
Taking up the
Jammer
entire
in the-
basement, huh?
Yeah. And he couldn't hear very well, so he always thought somebody was knocking at the door when I'm downstairs playing drums. And that's probably as good as it sounded at the time.
Oh, you got to start someplace.
But yeah, and yeah, it didn't take about 2 years of messing around, and then
So how did you teach yourself then? Were you just listening to the albums and just trying to mimic what you're hearing, or
yeah,
'cause this is pre-YouTube
yeah,
for
it was
all you
just
youngsters out there?
listening and headphones and trying to play along and thinking it was good, but it, I was totally wrong at the time. But there was stuff I learned years later from just simple songs that, yeah, totally wrong at the time.
It's okay.
But yeah, and then I didn't really take any formal lessons. There was a guy in town here once we moved here that I took lessons for about a summer from him, but I was kind of already. He was mainly a guitar teacher, so
Okay.
I was kind of already at his level of drumming already. So it was like,
But you still had someone to take you under the wing.
yeah. But and then
Hopefully
as
so.
I met other friends and the current drummer in Zero Plays, Matt, we kind of grew up both playing drums together, so we kind of
Excellent.
learned together and watch videos. And,
So where'd you come from originally then, besides your grandpa's place?
I was born in San Francisco,
San Francisco.
and then my mom and I moved.
Why
to,
would you come here?
My mom's
Well,
originally from
Your
North
mom's
Dakota.
Oh, okay.
And so and then we lived in Idaho till I was like 9, I think, and then we moved to be with her dad, and because he was getting older. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, was here through high school and was doing bands that whole time. And after high school, I moved for a while to do more music stuff and wound up back here. So
That's the thing. Everyone always ends up back in Fargo again. 'Cause I was the
Yeah.
same way. I got out of here for a couple of years, but now I'm back and I haven't left.
it's a easy place to live. Like
That's
in
true.
comparison.
That is very true. Let's say it that way. But high school, were you actually in any of the music programs there? Were you just doing everything on your own?
no, not in high school. In junior high, I was doing jazz band. I played drums.
Which
Just-
junior high were you at?
Ben Franklin.
Okay, Ben Frank's here, Fargo North guy.
No, I went to South High School.
Oh, did ya?
but I got in so much trouble in school.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, they didn't want me back at North. So
Oh,
they made me go to South.
it's ended up being a Bruin, huh?
So yeah, I only did jazz band in like 7th grade, I think.
Okay.
And then nothing in high school. I was just doing our bands outside of that.
And what were these bands like? Who would earn them? What's the names?
Well,
You
yeah.
remember?
So
Can you explain?
oh yeah. So 2001 to like 2000 early 2003, I was Bliss. That was the first band.
First band,
I played
Bliss.
drums in.
What kind of music did you play then?
I like grunge,
Grunge?
hard rock.
Okay, all original?
Yep.
Okay.
That one. And then that was just me and one other guy who did guitar and vocals. And then so I was 12 at the time when that started.
Still, that's cool.
So,
Did you
and
guys
he-
get
he
to
was a
play
little-
out at all? Or
Yeah, we only did like 4 concerts. One at All Star, one at Reed Lane, and then 2 at this old coffee shop that used to be up north. But
The Frisky Goat?
No, I was Planet 19.
Oh!
19th Avenue.
Yeah.
So we did
Barely
2
remember
there.
that one. Wow.
And,
This is why I love doing this.
yeah,
just
man.
reminiscing about all this stuff.
And this is a good time to do it because I've been brushing up on the history, trying to put a big compilation list together of everything. So over the years.
Cool.
So yeah, that was pretty short lived, like 2 years, and then I joined GFV on drums, Green Fog.
Oh, that's right.
So
that was a big thing for a long time.
Yeah, so that was like 2003. I was 14, I think, when I joined that. And obviously they were older, so that's kind of when it got serious because I was playing with older guys who were better musicians and playing more shows and first recording experience. Or, no, I shouldn't say that, but just more experience.
Yeah, so you learned a lot from them then.
Yeah. And then the list goes on, man. Like there was a lot of bands through. So Her Seduction came after that.
Okay, I remember that one
And
as
that
well.
was with current members of like Gorgatron and Andy Wallen from Blood Rise Black, and later Battlefields, which I was in that too later. But yeah, man, there's a long list. But when I was about 15, I started being more interested in guitar. So that's kind of when things changed as far as me writing music and evolving as a.
So it's kind of like the reverse of Dave Grohl. Because Dave Grohl was a guitar player, went to drums.
Oh no!
At least that's what I heard.
Grohl was a drummer first. Well, no, yeah, I think you're right. He fit in better drumming, but he came back to it obviously with the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, because that's what I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, it just seems like what kind of thing that you're doing right now, and just writing and doing all that fun stuff. And you understand all the whole genre or the gamut of what's going on there, like the whole melodic side that you have to put onto there. And you're doing vocals too, aren't you, on the new stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you even have that, and then along with the rhythmic side, you're able to put all that together. So that, to me, that's just huge. Oh.
Yeah. So on the new like Zero Place stuff, the album Never Feel Again was just me at the time. There was before the band, like I put the band together.
Yep.
So yeah, it was just me and Neil Stein recorded everything.
I saw that.
Yeah.
So like Neil Stein's just getting out there and just getting it.
Oh yeah.
To me, man, is he taking over for? I'll think of his name later. He was the guy who used to do all the guitar stuff in the recording. Barking Dog. Why can't I think of his name? Coates. Mike Coates. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know him.
Okay. It was Mike Coates. He used to have a huge studio. He's the one who produced Steve Stein and all those guys out of MSUM. And he had this guitar Bible, basically. It was just thick. We used to have one. And, he put out all these things, and he went to recording a lot of stuff. And Stein, I mean, you can't, I don't know anyone who can play like that.
No,
He's
yeah,
just a
Neil's
great player, and then he's just
beyond.
doing all this recording lately too. So
yeah, he's got quite the resume, man.
Yeah.
Neil's one of my favorites.
I got to get him down here.
Yeah.
I was trying to with Gorgatron, but we'll get him next time.
He's out of Gorgatron now.
Is he out of what?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I did not even know this.
Yeah, he's got El Supremo with Chad
Yeah.
Haley, and yeah. But yeah, he's not in part of Gorgatron anymore.
I did not know that. I guess that was never brought up. Okay. Well, I'm learning something new. Definitely. All right, so let's I'm trying to figure out where you just left off at. So let's see. Green Fog.
Yeah, I kind of jumped ahead. So
That's okay.
yeah, Bliss, Green Fog, Her Seduction. And at the same time as Her Seduction, I started playing guitar in a band called Split Soil, which the drummer of Zero Place, Matt, was in too.
Gotcha.
So, like I said, we grew up together. So as soon as we were both good enough, we were always doing stuff together. But yeah, so Split Soil and Her Seduction. So that would have been 2005, 2006 time, and then in
This
2000.
is about the time I was completely out of the scene. I have no idea what was going on at that point.
This was when I was getting pretty serious and writing more of my own stuff. So 2007, so I graduated high school in 2006, and then 2007 I started Hust, and that was kind of my band, my first like band of my own, and I did it the same way, like wrote it and recorded it. Me and then Tyler Breitbach was playing drums, and we recorded that album. And that's the first band that I took and did like touring and stuff. So.
Oh wow! So where'd you tour to?
We did West Coast first, so I'd be like Midwest into West Coast and back into the Midwest.
Okay, so we got some lessons learned here on the West Coast. So how did you get the shows that you got? Did you have them already booked before you went out there?
Yeah,
I know there's a few different ways of doing this.
Yeah, I booked everything ahead. I mean, it was like that tour I think was 3.5 weeks or so in the summer of 2008. And yeah, I was just reaching out to bands and clubs and in the cities, and the shows in cities, and some of the cities changed depending on what I could find, but it all came together.
Yeah, it's how it works. So were you getting paid enough from the venues itself, or were you sitting there doing the merch thing on the side? Because I know this is way before you can do Grubhub and stuff on that to keep yourself going.
So yeah, you'd get a guaranteed payout from the promoter of the show in each city, usually, and then or it's supposed to be guaranteed, but that's kind of loose sometimes. Yeah. And then we did merchandise too. We had a bunch of merchandise, but that we try not to dip into that for like travel expenses and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So that first tour I did was summer of 2008 with Hust, and then throughout going like further into 2009. So then I was also playing bass in Battlefield from here too.
And then bass. Okay.
Yeah. So, and I ended up playing bass in Hust live, like just by default, but and vocals. But yeah, and then Battlefields I toured with them a few times too. So 2008 and 2009 were basically full-time touring between the two bands.
That's awesome.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
So pretty much the whole country, like, and the same places a few times, like, so a lot of experience through just those couple of years.
A lot of stories too. Yeah. Probably some you can't even repeat.
Well, and at the time, so I was like 18 to 20 years old.
Oh, gotcha.
So there were times like on the first tour where I couldn't even go in the venue until we played, because I wasn't 21.
Yeah, and just the entertainer.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm guessing that most of the other bandmates are older than you.
Yeah, that's kind of always been until now. Because now I'm the old guy.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, now I'm the old guy. But
I'm the oldest one in my band right now. I'm like, what? What's going on?
Yeah, well, so yeah, after 2009, that's kind of when I was like, I moved from Fargo to Kansas, and then to Chicago. And
what drew you out to Kansas?
Just good friends from touring, and
okay,
got some
just made some acquaintances.
And made some good friends there, and I'd been there through there, probably 4 or 5 times at that point on tours. So yeah, the scene was really cool back then in Wichita, and there was kind of musical opportunities that I was like wanted to just try out, but
go explore it. Gotcha.
Didn't work, didn't work out, but still a good experience. And then I moved from Wichita to Chicago, kind of the same situation. And
you just had some friends in Chicago, and they just kind of just got you to come that direction?
Yeah, because at this point, man, like I knew people everywhere, like all over the country. So it was back then when I didn't have any responsibilities, really. I could just do whatever, try it out for a while.
Exactly.
But yeah, ended up back in I think I moved back to Fargo in 2011.
Okay.
10 or 11. And then I just wasn't really doing much musically till 2019.
Well, what happened there? What kind of pulled you out? Were you just burnt out in the whole idea, or?
Burnt out more so on people than music, you know. I think just the experience I'd had the previous few years with the people I was dealing with just wasn't
Just
good.
left a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
So, and I should add that that's when I was trying to do like more integrative band, like a band, not just doing my own thing like I'd always done. And that's when it didn't work. So I'm sure there's parts of my personality back then that made that a problem too. So.
Yeah.
But,
None of us ever have any personality problems.
no, I'm like, and that's kind of why I do things the way I do. Just because I know I'm like particular and kind of a perfectionist in my eyes of what I'm looking for, want to hear. So
Yeah, well, if you know what you're looking for, yeah, that's the type of thing. But through all this is all original music too, correct?
yeah.
Yeah, so that's a lot of writing that you're doing,
Yeah.
a lot of producing.
Well, and
that adds on a lot of extra pressure.
There's a lot of material over that never got used.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what's interesting about when I started up in 2019 again with the current band. There's some guitar parts on there that I wrote as early as like 2008.
Oh, so how do you keep those? Do you keep them in your mind, or you have like a recording of them? How do you do that?
I have some demo recordings just from home, and then I write tabs out when I'm writing, and then some of them I've just been stuck in my head for that long.
So I can finally use this one.
A lot of them I had to figure out how to play them again. And then I transformed them. It's not exactly the same as it was, but
Everything grows. Yeah.
We have some clips of your music too.
Oh yeah, let's get to some of these clips here.
Is that in the guest slides
That's
here?
Look how you got the. Punk and grunge mixed together. Am I hearing this correctly?
I like to hear what grunge has been tied to it. Just, everything. I think that's more. I'm flattered by that because that is my job.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just the aesthetic or.
Punk, man, yeah, he's got that grunge sound on the top.
Fugazi. Remember them? Fugazi from
Fugazi.
the late 90s?
Yes.
I saw them.
That's what it kind of, to me, is that.
Been presented.
Yeah,
What are you
just-
open for?
Just real guitar driven, hard hitting drums, simple.
We have another song too. That was called 17. This one's called
L7
Pop Powerhouse?
Flowerhouse.
Flower House. I got my glasses on.
This one has a little darker edge to it.
So what inspires you on this stuff? Lyrical wise and then music wise? You just wake up one morning and all of a sudden you just have a thought in your head and you write it down?
For the most part.
Okay.
I don't really listen to any modern music besides friends' band. But, at home I listen to stuff from the 90s, old nostalgic stuff.
It's
Alice in Chains and Nirvana.
Yeah, the day I walked into the shop when I was working at the Park District and the classic rock station was playing everything I was listening to in high school.
Right.
It made me sad. I was like, oh my God, I'm that guy.
That was Flower House, and this is Feel Nothing. Correct title?
Yep. And that's the title track of the record.
And this is a band, right? Is this all you?
This is all me on the recording.
Okay.
Oh, so you multi-track this thing yourself? Just hanging out with Neil? Oh, man. How long did it take you to get all that done?
Tracking, we started in November 2019. Tracking really, I think, was done by January, but we were mixing and messing around until May.
Oh, okay. Getting those particulars down. Yes.
So the record got released in May of 2020.
So where'd you record at?
We did drums at my rehearsal space and everything else at Neil's rehearsal space.
Okay.
There's some like samples and stuff that I made at home too. 3 different places.
And this one's called
True artist.
Tosca?
Tosca. This is an actual music video.
That's a video, yeah.
Yep.
So we did last year in Wisconsin. We filmed this.
In Wisconsin.
Yep.
You say, what were you doing in Wisconsin?
This is where kind of our business partner for the band lives.
Okay.
And the guy filming Koala Media, he's based out of Minneapolis. So we played a show in Minneapolis Friday night, and then we filmed all this the next day.
Love the lighting.
Yeah, we did really good. And again, the shooting took a while, but editing and doing all the extra stuff is what gets up the thing.
That bass? Is that like a Explorer bass or what is that? Is it? Wow, I've never seen a bass like that.
They make an Explorer.
I didn't. I saw the body. I'm like, look at that.
Yeah,
It must be
they're kinda-
heavy as shit.
It's actually not.
No?
That's pretty cool. It gets a lot of compliments.
First thing I noticed, I was like, look at that.
I was just thinking it was a guitar.
So when you guys did the video, you guys recorded along with like a backtrack or something, or?
There's a backtrack. Well, actually,
So were you really making noise, or were you just? I'm kind of curious about how that process works.
so basically we have a PA system in that room, and it's just blasting a metronome
Oh, okay.
for the drummer to hear. then we just pantomime.
Okay, so
So the drums are making noise, obviously, because he's hitting them, but nothing else is
nice.
plugged in. And then, it just syncs up to the recorded track by the metronome.
So you record yourself all to a click at the same time?
This is the first band I did it.
That's still. It's not easy to do. And you did all the damn instruments yourself, too, at the same time. Jeez, boy.
Well, yeah, so that process, that is more refined now than how I used to do it. So I made, scratch guitar demos to a click track, and then that's what I'm listening to in my headphones when I track drums.
Okay.
And
It
then
still works.
Once the drums are down, then you delete those scratch tracks and you just go from there.
All right, is this another video here? Fearland?
I think that one's just a still photo with the track. I couldn't find just the audio track to send. So.
We'll check it out.
But it has the cover art. That's a painting from Aaron. This is the newest release. This was in July. This past year.
I like how you keep your licks all nice and tasteful.
Try to keep them simple, man, just so they're memorable,
Exactly, you can digest that.
Which is kind of hard sometimes to make things simple.
I like stuff like this when we do the show, because I want to go and download some of this if I can. Is it on Spotify or any of this available?
Yep. It's everywhere.
Okay, I'm going to look for it too, so.
Well, and Wade, you need to check your bag too.
Oh, that's right, you brought me the bag.
Brought you some goodies.
I'll wait till we get the cameras on. No, that sounds really good.
Thank you.
You guys did some really good work on there. So you play around a lot then, or is it just, do you kind of starve out the area and then come back and play for a little bit, or?
So yeah, that's the part about when I started this band. So like I said, recording, the first writing and everything was starting in 2019. Neil and I recorded the end of 2019 to May.
2020, right when everything hit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
fun.
I think I had 8 concerts lined up, and none of them happened because it was right at March of 2020 would have been our first concert. So all those got canceled. We did, including the album release show, which would have been in May. So we did. And then between there is when I put the band together, to play live. And then so we did Livewire, that Livewire company in town that they were doing
that online
live
stuff?
stream.
Yep.
Yeah, live streams. So we did that with Neil's band, El Supremo. We both played, and that was in April of 2020. And that was cool. It was right when everything started, so there was actually quite a bit of engagement with that.
Cool.
And bands made some money and people were into it. And then we didn't play our first live in-person show until August 2020 at the Aquarium, and that was the Gorgatron CD release with El Supremo and Deterioration from Minneapolis. So that was the first in-person show, and then I don't think there was another one till quite a while later. We did quite a few in 2021. I think we did. I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 shows
Okay.
over the year, you know. But
Is that mainly in town, or you guys get out?
that was
Like you say-
mainly in town last year. We did one in Minneapolis and one in Grand Forks, but other than that, it was all in town.
Okay.
And then, you know, we've only done one so far this year. And then we have one on May 28th at the aquarium.
Ooh, got one coming up.
And that's kind of it right now, but planning more for the summer, but probably more out of town. Just
Okay.
kind of regional out of town stuff.
Okay. Well, I gotta see what's in my goodie package
Yeah.
here. But no, I think the first thing I saw you post up, and I just got my record player working great again. But this is fucking sweet. Check that out on vinyl,
Yeah, man.
man.
There's some stickers tucked in there for you.
Is there? Oh, dude, this is beyond awesome. I can't wait to crank that sucker up.
Sounds really good on vinyl. Neil did a whole separate master for the vinyl
Oh, did he?
pressing. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. We'll take some of those stickers and stuff. We'll peg them up back here for you. And our big old mess right behind everything else. No, that is awesome. Oh, my God. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you so much. So that's cool. But we got to get to the weekend report. But here, I just wanted to get you thinking through this. My big question for you is on that first tour that you took, what was a couple of the key things that you took away from that tour? Like a couple of key things that maybe a new band might need to know before they go on, or a few things that you never thought you'd never have to like experience or happen, or, you know, in that realm. So I'll let you think
Sure.
about that, and we'll get to Cito. What's going on out there this weekend?
Well, I'll tell you, Wade.
That was me singing on that thing too.
In music, Uptown, we got Windbreak. Slamabama's out there on Thursday and Friday. Now I'm sounding like one of those 30s boxers guys. We got Face for Radio on Saturday. Southtown Poorhouse. Yeah. Kissing Company's out there Friday, and then Slamabama on Saturday. The Shooting Star Monoman has Lee Greenwood on Friday, and then Brianna Hebling on Friday and Saturday in the Mustang Lounge. The Sanctuary, The Who is out there, and is that happening when?
Monday.
Oh, I'm so there. I'm there. Do you know who these guys are?
No, I just saw the photo.
They're like Mongolian rock, like heavy metal. They got like
Are
instruments.
those the guys with like violins?
Yeah, and I heard their music when I watched the show Marco Polo on Netflix, and they were like featured in there, and it was just great. So
Huh.
it's gonna be awesome. That's a one-of-a-kind show you're gonna see, so make sure you guys go see that. The Fargo Theater, I Am He Said Neil Diamond Tribute band. That's the band, I Am He Said. And Bobby V and the Killer V's are out there, so make sure you check that out. The Downtown Acoustic Corner on Thursday, April 28th, we got Rick Adams at Pub West and Matthew Dower on the 701. Friday, Mick Klein's at Tailgaters and Rick Adams Bar 9. Saturday, April 30th, Zach Thomas is at the VFW in West Fargo. Jim White Roundup Saloon, Mick Klein at the Elks Lodge. And Elks Club.
Fail.
Man, you failed. Pepper Ashmore Troll at the Troll. Now I'm failing. Sean Metzel at the Swing Barrel. And then Sunday, May 1st, the 10th Annual Acoustic Fest at Bar 9.
Yep, and that's going to start at, I think, around 1 o'clock. They got 30 people playing out there, so you can check all that out. That's at, I think, the Acoustic, FargoAcoustic.com.
Yeah, you
all
can
that.
link it down there in the bottom. Downtown, the VFW got Boogie Nights on Friday, Saturday. And then the Troll Lounge, we got the Bluegrass Jam on Tuesday nights. Make sure you guys go out there, bring your instrument, bring your violin, bring your jug. Rick's Bar. Rick's Bar is going to have DJ and the Atomics out there on Friday night. And then the Front Street, we got the Vinyl and Vino on Thursday. And then the Open Mic Night on Monday. JC Chumley's October Road will be out there on Saturday. At Specs, Retrolution will be out there on the Friday and the Saturday night. Going on more downtown, Dempsey's Open Mic with Gina Powers on Thursday. And then Roots Within Friday. Aquarium, Shotgun Facelift.
That's right, Shotgun's going to be in town.
That's right. We should have like a little video promo with them or something. Like we go out there and then do a shot or something. Autumn review. We'll be out there and ride him. All right, what's this
Do
one
a
here?
shotgun facelift.
Yeah. Shotgun Facelift. They're our friends though. Dimension Jumper and then Magenta Vice, North Innsbruck. D. What is that?
D Novice.
Oh, okay. Oh, Dina. Oh, you didn't see.
Yeah. I
You
don't
see
know.
the way you word that there? It's like not spaced out. Like Super Juice on Saturday, and then the Red Raven, the KNDS block party happening there. The DCR. This is too much, Wade. This is way too long. I'm running out of breath. Open mic night, Travis Nero's on Thursday, and then the El Delta Urban 42. We have Kathy Brecky in the 42nd Street Jazz Band out there on Thursday night. And I got the Out of Town report. The Tripwire's out there Friday, Saturday. The Laughing Sun Brewery in Bismarck, Mandam. Rag to Riches and the SPG General. And then Tumbleweed Radio will be out there. Sandbar 2 in Detroit Lakes. Michael Pink is doing an acoustic show on Friday night. And then Ojata Records in Grand Forks is Gradients early release party Friday the 29th. The Historic Holmes Theater has Cross Plays Cross. It's
Crotchy plays
Crotchy.
Crotchy.
Like Jim
Is that how you say
Croce.
that?
Jim Croce plays
Yeah,
Croce.
exactly.
I don't know. Okay, anyway, get there. And then of course the spot in Red Lake Falls, you got that little band Uptown playing out there. So
It's gonna be good.
and then the Uptown. Oh, that's it for me. So I'm out of here. Thank you for the weekend report, and bye.
And thank you, Cito, for that. So let's get back to Zander. Some of the key things that you learned on that first tour of yours.
Yeah, so back then I put in a lot of work ahead of time, a lot of preparation, and that gets you a lot farther. It's easy to
So what did you actually prep? What's something
So-
that the kids should know?
start booking way in advance, like, at least 3 months.
Okay.
And find the best local bands you can to play with, so that they got that local draw going on, and bands that favor your sound, and complement your sound, and vice versa, and then just put in the extra work, like the extra communication with the promoter and the bands, and just be a dude, be humble, and don't show up like a rock star. Just show up and try to make friends, and
Humble and communications.
yeah. Be humble is the main one, because being on the road is humbling.
Oh, I bet.
There's one night you could play to 300 people, the next night you could play to 10 people.
And how far did you go out that first time out?
So we did a big 2-day kickoff thing here, because it was also kind of doubled as our album release at the time. So we did this big, huge 2-day thing with all my friends' bands, and we raised a bunch of money before we left.
Okay.
So then we went to Montana, then Spokane, Seattle, Portland, Eugene, and then all the way down the West Coast. And then back east through Denver and Kansas, and then back up.
Oh, nice.
So it was,
I got to
I
see.
think that first one was 3.5 weeks or so.
So who was driving through the mountains? Was that you?
I did all the driving.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
I was a control freak. And I didn't drink or anything back then, so it was, I would drive all night. But, yeah, it was just be humble and be open-minded and just be a dude.
Love it. Well, that's probably made all those friends out there, too, at the same time. That
And learn,
drew
yeah,
you
there's-
out to Kansas and then drew you out to
There's
Chicago.
there's a lot to learn, in different places, different scenes, different politics, different people, it just kind of opens your eyes. And as a band, doing music, that's a underworld, so
Oh, of course.
there's it's not every place is the same as what you know.
It's time to start writing your memoirs.
Yeah, before I forget them all.
But cool, you ready for a little juvenile destruction?
Sure.
All right, here we go. This week's Off the Roof.
this is here. I just figured that out.
What's that thing that's in the sidewalk that looks like a nuclear bomb went off there?
What are you trying to make bombs?
Oh, it's the matching the other one. You threw the other one off. Right?
That was perfect game, too. You're hired. That's the last. This was literally the last day before it snowed out this year. Is that I gathered up a whole bunch of junk from the, we call it the bins, but whatever, the place where you can buy the thrift store stuff by the pound. So we found everything we thought would break really nice, and just random ugly stuff like that. And we were just constantly just throwing them off. And that one, we completely forgot that we had it. And then all of a sudden, I was ready to clean up the last thing because I had all the water in it. And we just threw that one off, too. But the whole story behind that is that a couple friends of mine that will be here in studio a couple of weeks from now, we'd always have these parties here because I grew up in this house. And then I bought it for my dad a million years ago. And it always eventually somebody got up on the roof and we were throwing random electronics off the roof every time. So we're just kind of keeping that alive with our little segment of Off the Roof. So if you're out there, you have anything you want us to destroy and, do it publicly, we can do that for you. So if you have anything, throw it in my yard. I don't really care. Or you can contact us at uptowntonightpodcast@gmail.com or find us again at uptownbandfargo.com. And that has all the links to everything that you need to know about us. Oh, and all that fun stuff. So, you have a show coming up here?
Yeah, May 28th.
At the aquarium.
And I wore my buddy's shirt, Poison Peace.
There we go.
It's their EP release show. So it's Poison Peace, Zero Place, Disappear Forever, Peyton Scansing, and then a band from Minneapolis called Unturned.
They have the greatest names of the people up in the aquarium.
Saturday, May 28th, aquarium.
May 28th at the aquarium. So make sure you make it out to there. Pick up one of these vinyls. I hope you have a bunch left, at least to sell for that, man.
Yeah, so we got...
This is freaking cool.
Those vinyls, yeah, we got them on our website, just zeroplaceband.com. And on Bandcamp. And then you can find them locally at Orange Records, DTFM, Mothers Music in Moorhead, and Vinyl Giant. So.
Awesome. And we have a bunch of those links down below as well. So awesome having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Sharing all that stuff. Man, you got a lot more stories I know you have.
We could talk all night.
So
we didn't introduce our special guest too on the couch.
This is my beautiful girlfriend, Ari. Number one fan.
The number one, yes.
Number one supporter.
Cool. So you still help him carry his gear in and out then?
No, I just watched the truck. I watched the truck and I take the pictures.
Perfect. All right. So remember, if your drummer's got more charisma than your front man, your band may be in trouble. But that's why my band's doing just fine. So until next time.
It's just a little baby turtle.